here. Okay,
Love it.
everyone. Thank There is so much going on, and you are in the right place to catch up with all the news that impacts ASVR lives and community.
Oh, for those of you who do not know what ASVR is, that's the
Sorry.
abbreviation, the right abbreviation for AltSpace VR. But that's okay. It's all a learning experience here. And we are in our fourth year of bringing you the news you need to know about AltSpace VR and our community. The news and updates is produced by our wonderful producer, Mark, who's the genius who started this show 4 years ago with the desire to give back to the community that gave him so much more. That spirit is what keeps the news and updates team going. And it's the desire to give back and to share. And that's going to be a running theme again in this week's event. We do not work for AltSpace VR, but we are very passionate about our community, and we're here to help bring you the news from within and around our community and make a better place. And we bring it to you with love and laughter. Okay, lots of laughter, a few tears, many groans behind and in front of the scenes. Trust us, this job isn't easy, but we do it for you.
Indeed, Laurel. We do it because we love it and we love our community. It's time to keep giving back. So let's get this party started with some quick news from in and around the AltSpace VR community and beyond. So, the Wall Street Journal sent a reporter into the metaverse for 24 hours, nonstop hours, living in their headset, and featured AltSpace VR. The article and accompanying video makes it clear from the start that they don't really know what the metaverse is. Basically, they explored a couple social platforms and played multiplayer games. The journalist admitted she was new to VR. After playing Beat Saber, she arrived in AltSpace VR. Unfortunately, as many do, she hooked up with people from the campfire. Not always a good idea, and went into a nightclub with them. She admitted that it felt cartoony, but it felt real, like she was actually there.
It's unfortunate that she did not explore the educational events, the open discussions, and the fun world and activities that fill up AltSpace. At least it was a taste. She then went out, she worked out, she explored a few other meeting platforms, and the biggest takeaway was that unlike online conferencing, she felt like she was really present with the others in the virtual spaces. And she really liked that and had a great time.
This reporter is not the first person to live in VR for 24 hours or more, and they all report the same two issues that manufacturers need to overcome. Our eyes and head hurt from the headsets. We don't ever recommending spending that much time without taking a break. We know that, but we still keep coming back for more. All things in moderation.
Indeed. Now we have some interesting news from the world of Microsoft's mixed reality division that incorporates AltSpace VR. In 2009, Microsoft developed an experiment called One versus 100. It was a game show that pitted one person in a trivia style game against 100. It lasted about a year, and now rumors say that AltSpace VR is developing One versus 100 as part of their mixed reality division. It will include the AltSpace VR avatars and AltSpace VR environments somehow. And we'll keep an eye on the news for you about this going forward.
And now, almost, it's time for the annual VR Awards and AltSpace VR. The VR Awards 2021 features 12 categories covering the XR industry, with winners selected by an expert panel of industry judges. Awards include VR Game of the Year, VR Social Influencer of the Year, VR Education and Training of the Year, VR Healthcare of the Year, and so much more. They're looking for moderators for this front row event. If you have attended the Educators in VR moderation training events and you have experience moderating, especially with Front Row and Discord Voice, please let us know after the show or contact us immediately so we can put you in touch with the organizers. It is one of our favorite events of the year, and we'll be there anyway, right?
Hmm. Now, congrats to the amazing Failed to Render Comedy Club here in Altspace VR with their adult comedy club. They have a new gig called the Starbase at the Starbase Event Center in Las Vegas. They are using 2D streaming from Altspace VR to and from the Real World Club with comedians converting into holograms through an advanced technology called Portal. ORTL. Comedians are streamed into Altspace. The avatars are streamed back in this virtual club that meets real world hybrid entertainment experience. It allows Kyle Render and his team from Failed to Render to bring comedians from around the world to that can be viewed in Altspace VR, but also perform in the Starspace Lounge. So it's mixed, it's all real live, but it's all mixed. It's wonderful. This is not the first time this simultaneous hybrid casting has been done, but it is still very new. It's rarely done. It is very new, and this is a state-of-the-art new technique that is breaking down the barriers between the virtual and the real world. So congrats to Kyle and the Failed to Render team. That's amazing.
It is amazing. Okay, on to some news with Windows 11. So for those of you who are holding back updating to Windows 11, me, a November 9th update should fix not only performance issues with PCVR headsets, but also issues connecting and streaming PCVR games to Quest through Link and the virtual desktop. Problems included frame rate drops on the Quest and what they called juddering effects when the user moved. Recent reports to Altspace VR blamed them for the low performance issues, but it was a combination of Quest and Windows that were responsible for some of the issues. This update should improve performance and use for all VR headset users. So be assured the upgrade to Windows 11 is safe. Laurel has been using it for several months with no problems, not of her own creation. And we know that she has many.
Thanks.
Right, Laurel?
I do. I'm like been in techno hell, and none of it has anything to do with Windows 11. It has to do with other things. But yeah, no, it's like, if you can't push the technology beyond, why bother even using it? That's a bad motto, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, as always, that's why I get in so much trouble. We bring you the news from around the metaverse that impacts our community, and now let's get back to some Altspace VR. Altspace VR One events team their event space was lost. The team wasn't lost. The space was lost in the URP update. Oh my God. Altspace VR One lost in space.
Lost in alt space.
Oh my goodness. I must have been. It's clearly I needed more sleep when I wrote this. Anyway, they were they weren't lost. The event space was lost in the Altspace your ERP update. Oh my God, that's now stuck in my head. And so the community helpers in the Altspace VR 101 team were found, and they came together to create a new event space. We're going to do a whole show on Lost in the Altspace VR 1 Lost in Space. Okay, they've created a new event space. Okay, so seriously, Lance took all of their input and all their feedback, and he created an amazing showcase presentation world for the team. Thank you to Stance with Trees, Mark, Gabriella, Karen, you, Lance, and myself for all of the amazing work to keep our Altspace VR 101 events team going in English and Espanol in this new presentation space. If you haven't stopped in for a while, do so. And bring a new friend with you to introduce them to the wonder of Altspace VR. And I'd like to also add, if you are a community helper, it is part of your responsibility to support the Altspace VR 101 events. Please need help moderating. They also need more people presenting it, and you will be trained. It is so good for you to learn these skills. If you're a community helper, don't forget this is a part of your skill set you're supposed to be supporting.
So the update we reported to you last week arrived on Monday, and it brought with it some amazing improvements for Windows, Android VR, and Mac users, and of course, a few bugs along the way. The jagging issues, lagging, excuse me, the lagging issues, lag, appear-
Okay, we're
they
gone.
I, I can't blame that on a typo. That's me.
Oh, I
Lagging
love it.
issues appear to be
Uh-huh.
resolved, along with the avatar color wheel for Quest users. Turning speeds are smoother, and the classic PC mouse controls are back. Yay for Laurel. You love that, Laurel. You hated it when they were gone.
Yes. Oh God, I
Seriously.
was sick of being sick. Yes.
Many of us want to throw a party over that news. I know Laurel, Rich hated it too. A lot of people hated that. I used the new control, so it didn't really affect me, but
Oh
I
God,
would
you
have been
must have
upset
a
too.
stomach of iron.
No, I just don't like
So,
teleporting by accident.
it's there are still issues, and your help is needed to report them through the website at altvr.com/support through or in world through settings, support upload logs button. That and this information is so critical because it helps us to helps them to track down the issues and resolve them. And the current issues that are going on is the inability to clear the menu screen with Control Alt P button for those in 2D and doing filming and taking screenshots and stuff. The movement locking when viewing the menu in the classic PC controls, you are frozen, man. Your mouse will move, nothing else moves. It's horrible. And it appears that the flight tool issues for VR users isn't totally resolved. Is anyone still having issues with the flight tool? If you are, please send in a ticket right away because it's important that they get those logs so they can figure out what's going on because they're still working on it.
The biggest bug, however, is the inability to click info on worlds for more information and spawn a portal to them. It works for events, but not for worlds. For events like the world tours that are reliant upon portals to move the group through the worlds, simply add teleporters to your event space and invite the travelers to return to the event space by portal or their event calendar and move on to the next world. If you have world building terraformer access to the worlds on your tour list, add a portal to the next world to link them together and make life easier. There are always creative solutions around these temporary bugs. We hope this will be resolved in next week's update, or this coming week's update,
This week's, yes.
this week.
If you haven't seen it yet, we have a little preview of at least one stage of the development of the new AltSpace VR website. If you go to their blog, you will see it. It's streamlined for mobile and VR users and likely connected through their API to Stream VR and other VR Star ecosystems that feature app news streams, which is really important to have that information translate across.
Now, it's still obvious that the website is hobbled together with different versions as they transition and unify the look, feel, and branding. But at least the help and support links now go directly to the Microsoft Docs for AltSpace VR support docs.
Yay! VR
Yay.
News and Updates will be hosting another year of holiday storytelling beginning in December. The announcement should be out next week. Get your holiday worlds together to volunteer for some for some storytelling. And you consider sharing traditional and original holiday stories yourself. The theme this year will be international, traditional, and cultural stories, and we hope to have them told in their native language as well. Then we will be out with more information next week, so stay tuned for some more AltSpace VR community fun. This is a huge community event, and it's just coordinated by News and Updates and by educators in VR. So get ready.
And let's take a moment to cheer for the inspired slide work by our producer, Mark. This snow effect is wonderful and possible only through his use of the web projector feature here in AltSpace VR, as well as his creative, wonderful self and clever. Thank you, Mark, for spicing up our lives and the show. We love you.
Yes, we do. Now, as usual, we bring you the news from around the Altspace VR community every week and in between. The news you need to know to enjoy this beautiful metaverse that exists. You know, you're at wondering what it is. Guess what? We're in it. Join us on our news and updates Discord for updates and related news that you can share and you can use to ensure that you keep updated on what's going on within our very own Allspace VR meta galaxy within the larger and ever growing metaverse. See, I'm still not done with Halloween. Still not done with Halloween.
Oh, you know you're
God,
going to
I'm
be
bad.
doing little Halloween howls for the rest of the year, even through Christmas, Laurel.
Probably.
I
Probably.
love
I
it.
gotta get my ho ho on.
It adds to Altspace and it adds to your love of Halloween. So keep it going.
Okay.
We're ready for it. Okay, so on to
Right.
some world building news. Altspace VR's community seems to have settled down and gotten back to what we do best, thrive on creativity. And there is so much creativity in this platform. If you are new here or you're catching up on the news, changes to the featured kits in the world editor, world building objects shared by the community with Altspace VR, and concerns over the impact of changes to objects purchased through the Cinti store that involve sharing them with others within the metaverse has been in our news of late. Here is a quick summary of what we know.
Proxide contacted the Cinti store directly for confirmation and clarification regarding the sharing of licensed and purchased Unity objects and kits through that store. And the results were they are not allowed to be used for NFT, blockchain, and metaverse platforms and games where objects are shared, traded, or purchased, and they leave the control of the original purchasers. In other words, if you buy their kits, you may use and modify them as you wish for your games or in Allspace VR worlds that belong to you, but you cannot share them with others. So thank you, Peroxide, for helping to clarify this issue for the community.
Cinti Store's reply stated that a custom license is available that may give the purchaser rights to their objects and kits that extend beyond their general license agreement. It is hoped that Microsoft and Altspace VR will negotiate those rights for a larger fee than we would be paying. If Altspace VR negotiates a custom license, Altspace could provide access to the objects through kits to users. Otherwise, your purchase from the Cinti store would be under the general license agreement unless you individually negotiate with them.
Let's talk about the confusion for just a moment in and around the use of the term metaverse. It is generally understood that the metaverse represents two aspects of virtual reality. First, the ability to move fairly seamlessly from app to platform. That's the goal. We've had it before, we're hoping it will come back again. Second, there will be an economy that allows sharing, trading, and income generation within and across the ecosystem, referred to as the metaverse. Okay, so it's that marketplace aspect that is really comes under question, and that's where the concerns are. That is what impacts copyrights, trademarks, and license agreements.
We recommend that everyone visit creativecommons.org and quickly review the various Creative Commons licenses, often referred to as CC licenses, in order to understand more about how they work, what you can do, and what you cannot do with them. We highly recommend that world builders use these for clarity when sharing your kits and templates with others for free or for paid. It takes seconds to set up a license for free, and you can easily include a link to it in your group and kit descriptions to make sure that everyone knows what your copyright policy is for your art.
Instead of us reiterating how copyright protections and licenses work, we'd like to read excerpts from a lawyer's note of infringement on the Far Side cartoons that included a letter from the Far Side cartoonist, Gary Larson. How many people are familiar with Gary Larson and Far Side cartoons? Give us some hearts. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Wasn't sure. I grew up with him, so it's like I knew it. So Gary started publishing the Farsight cartoons in Seattle for a large metro newspaper many years ago, and it was so popular they went into international syndication and multiple book deals. You may recall one of his famous cartoons we have up here of two deer talking to each other, and one saying, "Hell of a birthmark, Hal," and the other one's bullseye on his chest. I love that. That's timeless.
The other is the translation of what we say to dogs and what they hear. His ability to anthropomorphize.
Anthropomorphize.
Anthropomorphize. I knew I was going to stumble on that one. Animals. His ability to anthropomorphize. How do you say it, Laurel?
Yes.
Anthropomorphize.
Yeah.
Anthropomorphize animals. I'm glad it's in English and not in Spanish.
Yeah.
Anthropomorphize animals with human satire.
Mhm.
Not only changed the way we look at animals, but changed how we look at ourselves. With the development of the internet, his cartoons started to spread freely around the web. This was his response.
To whom it may concern. Fine here. On one hand, I confess it's quite flattering that some of my fans have created websites displaying or distributing my work on the internet. On the other, I'm struggling to find the words that convincingly but sensitively persuade these Farsight enthusiasts to cease and desist before they have to read these words from some lawyer.
Can you guys throw up some emojis if
Okay.
you're having trouble hearing Laurel? Okay, Laurel, I think you're going to have to
Oh,
re-enter.
you got to re-enter. Oh, all right. You want to start reading the letter, and I will be right back.
Sure. Okay. So, what impact this unauthorized use has had and is having in tangible terms is naturally of great concern to my publishers and therefore to me. But it's not the focus of this letter. My effort here is to try and speak to the intangible impact, the emotional cost to me personally of seeing my work collected, digitized, and offered up in cyberspace beyond my control. To attempt to be funny is a very scary, risk laden proposition. Ask any stand up comic who has ever bombed on stage. But if there was ever an axiom to follow in this business, it would be this: be honest to yourself, and most important, respect your audience. Okay, do you want to take over,
Okay.
Laurel? I'm on V.
Sure. So,
Okay.
in a nutshell, and probably an unfortunate choice for him, he says, I only ask that this respect be returned. And the way for anyone to do it is to please refrain from putting the Farsight out on the internet. Now, this is the most important part. These cartoons are my children of sorts, and like I'm concerned about without telling me. And seeing them at someone's website is like getting the call at 2 a.m. that goes, Dad, you're not going to like this much, but guess where I am? I hope my explanation helps you understand the importance of this for me personally and why I'm making this request. Please send my kids home. I'll be eternally grateful. Most respectfully, Gary Larson.
We hope this helps you understand copyright and what it feels like when an artist's work is used and abused beyond their control. Gary did finally release his work in a way that it could be shared legally. And it's something for all of us here to keep in mind since we were the pioneers. And I think now we're quickly moving into the early adopters phase because I see this whole thing just totally taking off. But anyway, a lot of us, either us or our friends of ours right here in this platform, have been making awesome things. And so, we have to protect our community here. This isn't like a huge business that we're taking things from. These are individual people who are creative and creating their own things here, and we have to protect that.
Absolutely agree. The Alts VR employee known as BS Angel on the official Discord has been working behind the scenes with Altspace VR events and support. and appears to be stepping into the position, at least for now, of Q for Q, who's left for another exciting career opportunity, and wish him well. This person introduced themselves in the Community Helper channel and says that the Altspace VR team is working hard behind the scenes on the assets and kit issues. They understand that this has impacted greatly, and they are working on solutions to bring more assets and kits back in the mix.
This is going to take some time as they also need to understand the ramifications of the Cinti Store license changes and also check in with other suppliers of Unity assets on changes that may happen in their license agreements. They are also likely working on better agreements and arrangements for users to offer their kits and templates to the community for free or paid. This news really caught them off guard as well as us, and they have more lawyers to check in than we do. Patience.
Remember, I used to work years ago. I worked in the legal department for Microsoft many years ago, and they lawyers, many lawyers. Until more kits within the World Editor, be aware that many community members are sharing their kits with others through the fairly new group sharing feature. On the Altspace VR website, you go to More, Groups, and All. Make sure to hit the All button. This is on the website. There's a list of world builders offering various kits for free. Read the description before joining to be clear on how you may use the kits. Be aware that these are community shared kits, and like all community shared things, they may change or be removed at any time.
If you're a world builder and you choose to share free kits this way, be aware that your group and kit descriptions must include your own license to assign permissions for group members to use the kits. Consider using those Creative Commons license templates we mentioned earlier. Please be sure that if you did not create the kit items yourself, that you have permission and rights to share them, or it could result in action by Altspace VR for violating the terms of service. This is getting serious now.
Well, it's not just serious, it's always been there. It's just, we're finally doing something about it, but it's always been there. This is
True.
not new. Yeah, and it's been around since we were 100 years before most of us were born. So this is old stuff just be brought into this new environment. If you are a world builder, well, that's you. Once you join the group, the kits will be listed. Sorry, I got all excited. I really do. I'm so passionate about. I am so sorry because I'm so passionate about copyright because it is absolutely fascinating. And if anyone who wants to hear some of the most crazy stories about copyright and plagiarism, I would love to share some, and I'd love to learn of some because there's some crazy stuff out there and wonderful stories, and it's a complicated. It isn't very complicated, but we've made it complicated because we're humans. So, but I love copyright stuff is candy to me. It's so fascinating. Okay, so once you join a group, the shared group, the kits will be then found and listed in your kits list on the website and inside of Altspace VR's World Editor under Mine. It says Altspace Mine and featured. It'll now be under Mine. And above all the rules and the regulations, we love the community for being brave and sharing their kits with us. So please show your gratitude and your respect because it is such a gift to have this available. But
It absolutely is. And we love our world builders. Please remember there are plenty of videos and tutorials available in the world building channels pinned to the top of the Altspace VR Discord and also in the world building tutorials channel, taking you step by step through the process of switching to Unity 2020.3.9 and higher and the new render tools. If you are new to world building or a longtime builder, check them out. Also, check out the world building channels on the Altspace VR official Discord.
many users are volunteering tutorial videos and articles to help support the community as well. Search first is always the best approach when looking for an answer to your question, as you likely, okay, I can guarantee you're not the first one to ask. So check the pinned messages on the different channels for the good stuff. And there will be people there to help you as well. But check those places first before you just ask the same thing that somebody asked 2 minutes ago.
And don't forget to check out the weekly SDK meetups and Jimmy's Building the Metaverse events, along with the World Tours by Daisy Shaw and the World Tours team.
Now, the World Tours team is now part of Educators in VR. Its tour events are on Wednesdays, and they explore the wonder of virtual worlds through AltSpace VR. During the transition to Educators in VR, the World Tours team will be joining the World Builders team project. And you should hear some of the stuff we got going on with that. It's very exciting. And expanding their events to include tutorials, world building training events, discussions, speakers on world building, etc., on all the technology that's involved in this process over the next few months. So if you'd like to be a part of the team, please let us know after the event, and you can learn more at educatorsinvr.com.
Okay, it's time now for our Discord tip of the week. Discord is our
Yay!
back channel communications tool used by AltSpace VR and events and groups all across the AltSpace VR community. So we enjoy that you enjoy these tips each week.
Our tip of the week is a very simple one. It's so simple that we forget about it. Okay. You just posted this fantastic missive, so poetic, so all this wonderful stuff on Discord, and you realize you misspelled a word. Normally, you'd click on the message, you choose the pencil to edit, or right click on the message and choose edit to change it. Now, there is a faster way.
Yeah, and I need to remember this because I do that all the time. So what you do is you click the up arrow. That's it. Click the up arrow, and your last message will automatically go into edit mode for you to fix that word even faster. We love simple, fast, and easy to get things done.
Kidding. And you're right. I do that all the time, and I forget, and it's just an up arrow. We bring Discord tips each week. And if you have any other faster and easier ways to use Discord, please let us know on our news and updates Discord server and share your events, your world, your news with us there as well. We stream them out to Twitch and YouTube weekly. And we love sharing your AltSpace VR news.
So the Rain Dance, we're on to AltSpace events now, and the Rain Dance Immersive Festival continues in AltSpace VR through November 21st. The events in AltSpace VR are meetup points to learn more about the festival, nominees for the awards, and all the activities and events going on through this innovative indie filmmaker special event based in London that celebrates the art of storytelling in bold ways and pushes the boundaries of VR.
Hive Fest 6th continues through this weekend with more exciting events, activities here in AltSpace VR. It's an innovative decentralized blockchain and ecosystem annual gathering of fans and members. It's part conference and social event over several days that draws many interested in NFTs in the current future marketplace of the metaverse.
The Golden Gate Stereoscopic Societies Gallery, opening in AltSpace VR and the real world, is celebrated an hour after our show with the best 3D photography from the club's acclaimed stereo photography enthusiasts. This is one of several stereoscopic clubs in AltSpace VR, and we honor them. The hobby and art form began in 1832, credited to Charles Wheatstone and his binocular type device called a stereoscope that allowed each eye to view the same image separately, thus seeing the images in 3D depth. Think of that, 1832, and here we are almost in 2022. This technology, of course, went into the VR headsets you have on right now.
It is. It's stunning to think how far it's come, and that was part of the birth of it. Wow. And they say VR is new. Don't you love it when people come into like AltSpace and they go, "Oh, wow, this is so cool," and you're going, "Yeah, where were you 4 years ago?" But they love it. They love it that it's like brand new to them, and they think it's a brand new novel experience. Well, you now know it started in the 1800s. Okay,
Wow.
Sunday, blow their mind with a little trivia. Okay, filled with useless information. We need to share useless information. Sunday is LGBTQ plus and friends hang out. They have several during the week. This is one of the longest running events in AltSpace VR. It has been around since the first stereoscope. No, it is a fantastic group of very welcoming people and a wonderful opportunity to connect and meet new people, even if you're straight.
Sunday's also another neurodiversity lounge meetup for those with ADHD and their support network as they learn about how to use their superpowers from each other as part of their tribe. The event this week features mindfulness and meditation practices, and it is an excellent opportunity to share successes and trials managing and supporting ADHD.
Did you know that approximately 129 million people, 7.2% of the total population, have ADHD? It mostly impacts children, but adults go undiagnosed for most of their life, struggling with learning disabilities, emotional control, anxieties, depression, and speech problems. Many diagnosed with anxiety disorders may actually have ADHD. Most, though, self manage and become productive members of our society. Knowing that you aren't alone, that there are ways to help manage it and turn it into a superpower is the first step towards better mental and physical health. Many people with ADHD are like Mensa intelligent too, very, very gifted. So it's all over the spectrum. But we are thrilled to have support groups like this and the many other mental health and welfare support groups here in AltSpace VR. Please help support them and make them welcome.
Monday is the next in the series by Deidre V. Lyons on pioneering digital Broadway, discussing the use of live theater in VR and how to share stories through theater. This is a great opportunity to see the potential of VR for entertainment.
Mm. If you haven't learned how to use AltSpace VR through your desktop or laptop, now is the time. Stance with Tree, Lance, and the Educators in VR training team offer a 2D training event every other week. Honestly, if you haven't tried 2D, you are so missing out. It allows us to not only stay in VR longer, but it also serves as a backup in case your battery goes dead or something worse. And you know what I mean by worse happens to your headset. We've all had those, okay? If you want to moderate events or maybe film them, 2D is a way to go. So join them this week to teach you how to expand your access options here in AltSpace.
On Tuesday, Simulation Nation this week features Styly, a platform designed for artists, creators, fashion designers, architects, and world builders to express their unique style through integration and importation of different media types and files from popular software. It's an interesting look at the creativity of meta and another tool for world builders. It won the 2020 VR Focus Better Than Reality Award in the Best AR Application category. It also has a plugin for Unity, so check it out. Friday is another AltSpace VR Over 40 meetup, bringing the Facebook group together with you and the older people in AltSpace VR looking for connections and having fun together.
Now, looking ahead, Educators in VR and XR Safety Institute is teaming up again this year to celebrate XR Safety Week and Safety Awareness December 6th through the 10th. Okay, this sounds like it is not a very exciting event, but trust us, this year they're tackling human rights, diversity, copyright, and privacy in the metaverse. Huge. December 10th, they're working with the Human Rights Day to promote awareness of the respect and security that we all need when it comes to the metaverse and what's going to be coming at us in the future. The multi-day event will be in Engage and in AltSpace VR. We'll have more details later, including specifics on the December 10th town hall, where you will be able to meet with world leaders and innovators in XR technology and the metaverse to share your story. They want to hear from you.
As mentioned, these are just a few of the events this week. There's so many, we can barely keep up with them. Check out the channels to find the events to tickle your fancy and amuse your spirit.
And if you don't see someone that interests you, start your own event and then let us know by posting it in the News and Updates Discord. We love sharing your events here.
We do our best to bring you the highlights from this ever growing community, and we are so glad that you're here to share it with us.
Now, are you ready?
Roll.
And
Thank you,
Karen,
Mark.
I'm going to need you to handle the Q&A, at least the controls today.
All right, not a problem.
What a week it has been. Seriously, I hope you're all recovered from the upheaval and change of late. There was a huge update to world building. We've had featured kits and shared kits shifting and changing. We've had lessons in copyright. We've had it's a lot to handle and digest. So this week, I want to check in with all of you. How you doing? What's going on in your Old Space VR world? What's going on with your tribe? Have you had some great events that you want to share with us? Have you had some amazing experiences? Built some cool worlds? How the hell are you? We want to know.
Let's catch up and see what you've been up to. There's so much going on, and we can only cover a small portion of it. So it's your time to take to the mic and let us know how you're doing and what interesting things have been happening in your AltSpace VR life lately. So I want to just briefly mention of the VR awards. And I should say VR International Awards. I didn't realize they were international until I went to the website and looked through it. Anyway, these are incredible worlds that were created by our very own AltSpace VR community, world builders. And these include Carnivore, Nira, and Dargan, among others. I've had the opportunity to pre-test them as part of their test project. And not only are they phenomenal artistic displays, but they also push the limits of technology here in AltSpace VR. This is an international event, and the event spaces were built by our community, and the event is being held right here in AltSpace.
That's exciting. I love it. I love it. So who else is up?
Oh, did you want to say
Beautiful.
something about Halloween?
Later.
And drown the
Later. I will.
later.
I will.
Okay, so we have Stevie Boy is up. Stevie Boy, you have the megaphone.
Hi, good to see you. Thank you very much.
Hey, sweetie.
Um, just this past Thursday, because that was November 11th. We actually celebrated 4 years of improv night, so that was pretty fun. And
Wow.
the first time, because for years, uh, specifically, although like Faye loves the show, she hasn't come to it in many years because she knows that she's not going to get to go on without me bringing her on stage. And so
Yes.
this one time she actually came on and the stream was broken. So
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, I
Oh,
love it. Oh,
yeah.
wonderful.
Thanks for
How,
sharing that,
4
Stevie Boy.
years? 4 years. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
4 years as of this past Thursday, we've been doing it. So and so in the
Wow.
Discord server, I think it was
Well,
Space by Caro said said an entire presidential term of improv night.
oh, I love it. Well, I want to ask while we have you here, what started Improv Night? What was the story or origin story?
So I couldn't quite hear you. What did you say?
What was the origin story for the event?
Oh, okay. So back in like back like when I first joined Altspace, like the first few months. There was like this whole thing going on with the event. There wasn't that many events, but there was like a good handful, and a lot of them were from this thing called the Hive Network that was around at the time, which had its own
Mm-hmm.
thing going on. And I was a big fan of, the Hive with Vivian, seeing that whole show. And basically, of all the friends that I made in here and like consistently hung out with at the time, I'm like, oh, every last one of them is involved in some sort of event or hosts one. And so I'm like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? I might as well. I might as well throw my hat in the ring. And um like, well, I like to make jokes with buddies. I like to watch a lot of, stand-up comedy, and I love to watch, but I actually didn't even know specifically that improv was a thing until someone like said, "Oh, what you're looking for is improv comedy," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then I later found out about who's. So then I found Trey used to do like country music concerts in here
Huh?
all the time during that time. Right after that, a guy who I'd come to know very well, his name was Try Hard Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he screamed at him something very positive that I don't know that I'm allowed to say here, but I'm like, that's the guy that I want. I want to work with that guy, and so we partnered up. It's like he came in December because Try Hard had to ditch out. But yeah, we basically just made it into a thing where we were doing bits on a stage. Try Hard guided me through my first bits of improv comedy and like the basic structure, and then we just ran with it, making games and having a good time, and did not expect it to go on for almost half a decade now.
I
Wow.
know. That's
Yeah,
amazing. But what I love about it is that is a perfect Alt Space story because it starts with something you're passionate about that then evolves because of collaboration. That is
right.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
Love that.
I wholeheartedly think that there's a solid chance that it would have completely crashed and burned and gone nowhere if I didn't have that conversation with Tryhard about like he's like, oh, okay, this is what you want to do. Okay, this is how you want to start. I think it would have fallen apart, and I would have been like, well, that was fun, and then moved on to something else.
Well, right. Well, I think it probably would have
Yeah,
also fallen apart if you didn't have Trey to get you started and then Joseki to keep you rolling and all the rest of the people that
right.
came on board that keep you, they just make you want to show up. And that's a true alt space story. Love that. Thank you. Oh,
You.
I feel
Wow.
much better
That's
about the world now. I love it. Thanks,
that's
Stevie.
great, Stevie. Thank you for
No problem.
sharing.
Thank you.
And now we have Stands with Trees. My friend Matthew stands with trees. And you have the megaphone, Matthew.
Okay. Well, I would have to say there's been lots going on in my ASVR world lately. Ever since the upheaval with the update and feature kits, all the things that are happening lately. Um, I've been having my limits as a community helper tested, patience limits, I should say. Uh, but yeah, busy putting out fires and things like that. And just last night I was up until 4 o'clock in the morning, helping a couple of users with their Unity projects and things like that. So, wow, what uh, what a time it's been since the update for sure.
Yeah. But what a giving heart you are to have stayed up until 4 in the morning to help them. That's wonderful, and that's part of the compassion. If Matthew works with educators in VR in the AltSpace VR 101, and it is such a joy. Your passion for all of this is so wonderful, and it just your determination to stay up to us 4 o'clock in the morning. That's huge. I hope they said thank you. But it's
Thanks.
that commitment that makes all space a better place. Thank you. And I want to reiterate again during the Halloween event, one of Matthew's proudest moments is when he was haunting some people and they turned around and called him a troll. I still just find great joy in that. He got the official troll for doing his job. It was wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Matthew. Anybody else want to share? Come on, I'm not going to call
Well,
individual people out today, so
I
I'll
yeah,
leave you
well,
alone
yeah.
today. But
Well, I want to add while we're waiting for other people to be brave enough to share their story, what's been going on with them. So this month is National Novel Writing Month, where the goal is to write 50,000 words in 30 days. That's 1,667 words a day minimum. And I've been doing this for a very long time, but I brought it into AltSpace over 4 years ago. And every year I think, who wants to come to VR in 2D because doing it had painful and write in VR for some kind of a weird, quirky shared experience and write together. And yet every event people show up. And and there's a commitment to be a part of this process. It's hard. It's hard to do, but for 30 days you get to pretend you're a professional writer and put writing ahead of everything else in your life to make space in your life for it and face the challenges and obstacles that come in the way that say, no, you can't do that. And you have to overcome them. And boy, let me tell you, there's been 1,000 of them so far, and we're on day 13. But one of the things this year that is different a bit from previous years. In the past, when I've done this 30-day thing, we meet every single day in AltSpace. So not very many events are hosted for 30 days nonstop. I seem to specialize in those. I'd have friends that would stop in and help moderate from time to time. Mark has been doing that for ages on and off and stuff, and others of you have done that. But Dance with Trees and Lance, Spidey Girl committed to spend this month with the creative writing. They're not writers, nothing to do with it. They just want to support this so that I can also write during the event, because I don't get to write during the event because I'm moderating while everyone's muted and whatnot. And what a gift that they've been coming into the event right on schedule. They nag me to make sure I even show up. It's a beautiful thing. And they're moderating so that I can enjoy the process. That is a beautiful, beautiful gift. And I cannot tell you, oh, I'll start crying. Seriously, how much it touches me, kind of support. And we have such a beautiful community that is so giving. And I love that. So
That's very nice, Laurel. Thank you for sharing that. That's what this community is about. It
is.
really truly is a loving community and a sharing community, and I hope it never changes. Okay, anybody else
I
want
have
to
one
share
more.
anything? Oh, okay, sorry.
I want to hear from anybody else. Hit the raise hand button if you've got something to share, but I have one more little share. Quickie. Our Educators in VR medical and healthcare team had their social networking event, and everybody was talking about the future of medical and healthcare and what's going to be happening and stuff. And I threw it out there and I said, this is what I want. I want to sit down in the future, whenever that moment comes. I'm making this up. I want to sit down with a doctor who says, all right, we've done a scan and stuff. We found there's a problem with your heart. And instead of me freaking out and thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have a heart attack. I need to have open heart surgery. I'm going to have it. And my mind's starting to spin on all the horrible things that could be involved. He's going to kind of wave his hand and suddenly there will be my heart right in front of me in augmented reality. And I'll be able to see my heart. And he'll say, see here, and he'll zoom in and I can see this valve has a little bit of clot here. We're going to go in and rotor that sucker out. We're going to help you. And my fear and my anxiety is going to go poof, because I'm not immediately going to worst case scenario. I'm going to got a problem, we're going to solve it. Little stitch here, little rotor, little drill. I'm happy. Just bring out the, that big long brush, the bristles with the long brush with a big wire on the end and just jam it through. I'm okay because I have something that I can control, understand. That's where we're heading. So I put that out there. I now have been approached by 3 different people at that meeting who said, how can we make this happen? What do we need to do? Like, yeah, I love that. I got nothing to do with that. It was just an idea and I just threw it out there. But these are people who want to follow through and make that dream a reality. Love this community. When you have that moment where you throw out an idea and then they run with it and they make something happen, it's beautiful. It's such a gift. So who else wants to be our last person to share?
That's awesome, Laurel. That is really awesome. We have, let me bring panel up quickly here. Okay, Leslie. Leslie, you're on air. Go for it.
Hi. I wanted to
Hey,
say
Leslie.
thank you, Laurel, for having confidence in me and letting me mod Halloween and scare the hell out of people. I had a blast.
Yeah. And
But-
I put my godson, one of my godsons, in her hands, and the 2 of them scared together. He's 13 or 14, like 14, and he had way too much fun with you. He's still talking about it. So thank you very much,
Aw.
Leslie.
Yes, and the word came back that you were an awesome scarer, Leslie.
I had
So
fun.
we're
love
looking
it.
forward to Next year. I was going to say next week, but next year.
Karen, don't scare me that way. Thank you,
I know we
Leslie.
got to get through Thanksgiving and the holidays here and Christmas and everything
I
and New
know it.
Year's, right?
I know. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for sharing all of your stories and for being a part of our community. You are why we do this. So that's all for this week's news and updates. Thank you so much for joining us every week and celebrating our third anniversary as we head into the fourth year of news and updates.
When news you need to know happens, we share it in our news and updates Discord so you get the news through the clutter of information. Please tell a friend and share our Discord and YouTube channels so others can keep up with the news in and around AltSpace.
We do this for you for free. We are not AltSpace VR employees. Our team, all volunteers, work hard each week to gather the news and information to help our community keep up with everything going on here in AltSpace VR.
Thank you for being here every week to share the latest updates from in and around the AltSpace VR community. We live stream the news onto YouTube every week, and you can catch up with past episodes and more about AltSpace VR events, projects, news, and community activities. This is a labor of love, and we love our volunteer team members who help us gather the news as reporters, moderators, and help us put this show together every week.
Please let us know after the show. We need every ability and talent, and we will train you in event hosting, management, moderation. Don't forget, the VR Awards is looking for moderators and help. So please come talk to us about that as well. And, you know, it's just one step to joining our team as well as being part of the process, because this is our show as much as your show. Say that right? I don't know. But anyway, we do this together. It's a collaborative effort, and we'd love you to be a part of it.
Thanks to all of our news and updates volunteers and moderators who help make this event such a success. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So with these uncertain times, please be safe wherever you are in the world.
Hey, thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Lorel.